All right, good evening, everyone. It's 5:30, and we will call the meeting to order. Roll call, Ms. Henley.
Hollers, Allen, Hazelton,
Here.
Joe,
Here.
Computer,
Present.
Lester,
Here.
Michael,
Here.
Mealy,
Here.
Thomas,
Here.
Young. Present. We have a quorum.
Very good, thank you. Are there any public comments this evening? Seeing none. Staff amendments, we'll jump right in. Ms. Perry.
So I did put a packet out there that has 3 staff amendments in it, and we can go through each one, and then I guess it'll be up to the chair if you want to vote after each one or how you'd like to proceed. City clerk does have each one to be able to take a roll call on them. So the very first one that I have in there is $74,078, and it is a request from Parks. They would like to freeze a program manager position in the Department 292 that was included in the budget that was presented to council. This would not eliminate the position, but would instead leave it open or vacant during fiscal year 2026. And if approved, those funds that were allocated, the $74,078, would be moved back to the Parks Fund balance. And I think we did talk about that one really early on in this process. So that was the one request that we had from Parks to make a change on. I don't know if Mr. Griffrath has anything to add, but.
I don't. Like I said, it was just a coincidence that we submitted the budget, and then afterwards, after talking to Ms. Perry, that we thought it'd be easier to go this route for this position. So it's not going to have an impact on us, but it will certainly help the fund balance.
Very good. Without objection, we'll just listen to all 3, ask questions, and then group them all. Unless anyone's got an objection. Very good. Proceed.
Okay, the second one that's in the packet, there is an error in 10533-520080, which is tuition reimbursement. I did not get $3,072 removed from the budget when we were going through the mayor's process. So this would reduce the tuition reimbursement account for that dollar amount, and then those funds would be moved to the general fund balance, which is ultimately where they were coming from in the budget that was presented before you.
Very good.
The last one is an error that Mr. Smith discovered fairly late in this process. We had money in the budget for the residential incentive program, and I have it allocated twice in error. There is $50,000 that is in the general fund 10990 account, and then there was also $100,000 that was allocated in 10530, which is redevelopment and grants. And that's where we originally put the money this year that we allocated. So I did not catch that they were one and the same, and that ultimately we ended up moving them to 10990 so they could be reappropriated and utilized from year to year if there's a remaining balance. So the staff proposal here, and I'll let the city administrator and the mayor make any comments they have, but before we started the budget process, we found out that there was an issue with the fuel tanks and fuel lines at the central maintenance facility. There were staff concerns that the fuel tanks may no longer be usable, and so we didn't want to plan on any kind of redo of the fuel lines that go to the tanks unless we were sure the tanks were in good working order. And so the tanks have recently been inspected. It was determined that they are okay to be utilized, and so now line repairs can be done. And without the line repairs, the fuel station at Central Maintenance would need to be closed permanently, and it would force the tanks at Hyde Park to be utilized for all refueling, which really isn't practical or sustainable in the long term. Getting fire trucks and buses and things like that to the Hyde Park facility to refuel is really just not practical at this point. So So the proposal is to take the $100,000 out of the residential incentive program that we have in the redevelopment and grants department. That still leaves $50,000 for the residential incentive program, and move that $100,000 worth of expenditures or budget authority to central maintenance to redo the fuel tanks and lines that go to the fuel tanks. Anything from Kyle or?
I think you covered it pretty dang well. I mean, we, as you mentioned, we did want to see that those tanks were inspected and tested, and they did pass. Those tanks have been in the ground for a while, so that's why we wanted to make sure that they were in good shape before we moved forward with any kind of expense. They tested out fine, and so we feel comfortable that doing these repairs will keep us in operation for a while.
Very good. Any questions? Yes, sir. Councilman Thomas.
Thank you, Chairman. So you're taking $100,000 out of the residential incentive and putting it into this repair. Does this in any way inhibit the residential incentive down the road? Are we going to have to vote more money into that later? Or how does that fit those pieces together for me?
So during original budget discussions with the mayor, the request was to put $50,000 into the residential incentive program, which is what I have in the general fund 10990 account. When I saw the $100,000 that was listed in the redevelopment and grants, I really thought it was a different program that we were talking about, so I did not catch that it was a duplicate. So we will still have the $50,000 in the residential incentive program of additional funds that the mayor originally had requested in his budget. We will just be moving the duplicate, I guess, is the best way to put it, to cover the central maintenance costs. And I will say that as we went through and we talked about priorities and things that we really needed to look at, the central maintenance fuel tank issue was really, really high on the list for obvious reasons. But because we were unsure of whether or not the tanks were still going to be able to be utilized, we needed to do some further investigation. Now that Mr. Smith has pointed out that it's a duplicate, it seems like the top priority on the list of things that we felt we needed to deal with at the time. And now, because we have the answers that the tanks can be utilized, we're comfortable with moving on with that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Any other questions for that one? Any questions for the three items at all? All right. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion for approval of all three amendments.
So moved.
Seconded.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Very good. Any other comments from staff? At all at this
I
point?
got one once you're done.
Okay, fire away.
Well, no, after you all are done with the budget.
Okay, fair enough. Very good. Yes, sir, Mr. Thomas.
So at this point, we're going to turn it over to council. Is that,
What we'll do is, we'll present it to and vote out of this committee and present it to full council at the next council meeting.
Thank you.
And when it comes to council at the next council meeting, you will see it. We've moved the budget bill to the informal calendar. I will bring back a substitute bill that will have these modifications made if they pass. It will also have then other pieces of information that we would typically provide, like an accurate personnel schedule and a detailed listing of all of the account numbers and the dollar amounts, just for future reference if we ever have to go back and look at it.
Very good. So at this point, I'd entertain a motion from the committee to move this budget on to full council at our next meeting.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Very good. Thank you, Mr. City Administrator.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I totally forgot to mention at our last council meeting that it was Clint Smith's last meeting with the council. And so since we have this opportunity, I would just like to publicly say thanks to Clint and give the opportunity for the council to say farewell and good luck at Columbia.
Yeah, thank you for that. Comments from the council? Please, Councilman Thomas.
I think as most of you know, I've been following the council for several years prior to becoming a council person. And I've been to a lot of the public works meetings, Campo meetings, et cetera. And I just, it's going to be a big loss when Mr. Smith defects to north of us. But I have really enjoyed his insights and factual knowledge, et cetera. So thank you so much, and good luck with your future.
Councilman Lester.
Yes, I want to say it's a pleasure working with you, and I'm going to miss you. I wish you well in Columbia. If it gets rough up there, come back.
Councilman Holliston.
I would be remiss if I didn't note the overwhelming impact that he has had on the addition of extra housing to this city. And I mean, not just the leadership that you had in community development, but the effort that you put into helping us reach that major objective is increasing our housing. So thank you for your service. Thank you for helping us gain that achievement in this community, and I wish you success where you go.
Very good. Clint, all the best to you, my friend. It's been a pleasure working with you. It doesn't seem like it's been 3 years since you've been here. It may for you, but it doesn't for me. But wish you all the best, and the floor is yours, sir, if you have any comments.
Not a lot of comments. Just to say that I really appreciate the opportunity that I was given to work here and work with a really great team. I'd say the leadership team we have here with Brian and the other directors is exceptional. This is really kind of a privilege and a benefit to me to be able to work alongside them. So I think their city's in very good hands, I think, going forward with that team. All the staff at PPS does an amazing job, very, very committed to this city, I think, and improving it and making the lives of citizens better. So, and just a lot of appreciation, I think. When I started, there was, I think housing was one of those things that was just really coming into focus as a big issue, and it had been an issue here for a while. But I appreciate the efforts of, I think the mayor really kind of, leading, that directive from the city, kind of what those priorities are, that helps staff, kind of focus our energies. Appreciate Brian's leadership too, to kind of helping us, enabling us to move forward with some of those things on the housing incentive. And of course, it wasn't me. There was a lot of assistance from other great organizations, JC Rep, other departments within the city, and a lot of organizations. So it's a team effort. It always is, and it's been a good team here to work with. So I appreciate all the opportunities I was given.
Any comments? Leadership there. Okay. So at this point, unless anyone's got anything else for the group or the staff, Ms. Perry, anything else, I'll summarize a little bit, and I'll say this at our normal council meeting when we present the budget and ultimately approve it, that all of us sitting here have worked at different places and worked with budgets. And municipality budgets are an animal of their own, and it takes a lot of work from the staff to put all the pieces together. And as the budget constricts, in some ways it makes it easier. In some ways it makes it harder, because as we found out this year, a lot of no's and a lot of pulls from departments. Sometimes decisions that are tough and predicted, as the mayor kind of alluded to at the beginning. So congrats to the staff to get us to this point, and we all respect the work that's been put in. So thanks to you all for your due diligence there and helping us and answering a lot of the questions which I think got us to where we are tonight, frankly. So thank you all, appreciate you. Any other final comments from council? Very good. At this time, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. How about that?
Perfect. Perfect. Got it under an hour.